Wowee! Call of Duty World at War. Dedicated to the veterans of World War II who sacrificed their lives for the preservation of liberty. All right, this was my second time ever playing World at War. The first time I played it, oh man, that was years ago. I genuinely don't even remember when. But I recall it being kind of a pain in the ass, and I did not care for it whatsoever. It was just something that I wanted to experience because I love Black Ops. Black Ops is just one of my favorite FPS games, one of my favorite, it is my favorite Call of Duty, like, sub-series, I guess. So I wanted to experience, like, okay, well, how did this story actually start? Because, like, I love the characters from Black Ops, the campaign. I'm a big fan of Black Ops campaigns, and Reznov is one of my favorite characters in the series. And I knew he was in World at War, so that's why I wanted to experience it. But man, did I super not care for it. And World War II is one of my favorite wars. It's either that one or American Revolution. I want to say World War II is probably second, but it would be an extremely close second. So yeah, Reznov was a big reason why I wanted to go back and experience World at War initially. And it's really not anything like Black Ops 1 or any of the following Black Ops titles. World at War is super, super different. And Reznov at the time also didn't feel very Reznov-y to me. From my perspective, having played Black Ops 1 before World at War. And it just wasn't anything that I really wanted it to be. So that's why I didn't totally care for it back then. How do I feel now after my second playthrough? Well, I gotta say, one of my favorite things about Black Ops are the characters. You got Mason, you got Woods, you got Weaver, you got Bowman, obviously Reznov. You just got a bunch of characters that return from game to game, and that's super awesome. And that gives you a lot of time to end up like really loving those characters. This game, not really. Reznov, there's really, as far as I'm aware, there's only two characters that show up in Black Ops 1, and that would be Reznov and Dimitri. So it is cool, and Dimitri is like such a super, super minor character that honestly, if you aren't aware of Dimitri even after playing Black Ops 1, it's like, who could blame you, honestly? But in any case, if you do remember him, then yes, it is cool that you go back to this game and then you're like, oh wow, that's Dimitri. And the reason I'm saying like, oh, you go back, it's because most people, their first Call of Duty was Black Ops. That game was so fucking huge, and I don't know exactly how many of those people went back and played World at War, or even aware that World at War is a prequel to Black Ops 1. So that's why I keep saying like, go back to, like, oh, odds are, there are a number of people that went back to World at War. So yes, it was super cool to play as Dimitri. On my second playthrough, I do remember characters like Roebuck, like Sullivan. I was a little more aware of Dimitri. I already knew what was kind of coming up ahead, so I was like, okay, this gives me more of an opportunity to pay attention to these characters rather than having my entire focus on like what's happening. And I will say, this time around, I had a much more enjoyable experience, except for the second to last mission. The second to last mission was dumb. In all honesty, the stupid little mini map is really dumb. It's hard to notice, is what I'm trying to say. There are some times where they try to give you directions, but it's not super obvious. And on the mini map, like, you have like little points of interest that it'll tell you like, oh, you should go here. But sometimes all that really means is like, just hold your position. But there's a stupid little mini map marker telling you, hey, go here. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? And my number one fucking annoyance with this game is the endless enemy spawning. There are so many instances where enemies will just never stop spawning until you actively just move forward. And that was my biggest problem with this game, and that's something that I remembered from my first playthrough. I was like, and I honestly, I had a little bit of trouble remembering it. It was just the fact that like, I was like, something's off. There's a reason why I didn't totally care about this game from when I first played it. And over time, like, I started realizing like, oh, that's what it was. It's that enemies do not fucking stop respawning. And the only way to stop them from spawning is to just move forward. You can't really just hold a position and then just fucking whittle down their numbers until there's nothing left. like basically every other fucking game in existence. I mean, maybe that was I don't know, a retro shooter thing, but I doubt it. I really don't think so. I've played a number of retro shooters, not retro military sims though. But again, I doubt that was the case in other games or a lot of other games. I think it's just mostly been the same where it's like, oh, there's only so many enemies that come in. In any case, that was an extremely frustrating experience. But once you realize how it's working, then it's like, okay, all right, there is a way to get around this, and it's just to keep moving, honestly. But it's annoying. And the next annoying thing were the fucking grenade indicators. You could feel like you're really far away from a grenade, but those motherfuckers blow the fuck up. They're just fucking nukes on their own. Holy crap. You could be at the start of the mission, the grenade indicator could be at the very end of the mission, and you would still die. Holy fuck. But again, it's just something you get used to, and then you just do your best to try to avoid it. It was cool that there's like, you know, you get to play the American side, you get to play the Russian side. That's all cool and whatnot. It is kind of lame that for a World War II game, you don't get... This is gonna sound bad, but it sucks that for a World War II game, you don't get to drop the nuke. But at the same time, like, I guess that would have been insanely offensive. So, okay, I guess. That's fine. It also kind of sucks that you don't get to experience Pearl Harbor. And I don't think that would have been offensive to put into the game. But whatever, I guess. And the Russian side, in all honesty, I don't really know that much about the what went on during the Russian side of World War II. I feel like that's not really something they teach in American schools all that much. I think they just really just gloss over it, but it's mostly focused on like the American and like the British dealio with that war, and then obviously the Japanese and the Germans, and that was mostly it, but not the Russians. But in any case, it was cool that there are technically two campaigns being played concurrently, or just like happening concurrently, and you just switch between both every now and then. Yeah, it was cool. It was lame that after you finish the American side that you technically play 2 missions, but the 2 missions really feel like one mission. So I'm wondering if it's like, oh, the reason they split the mission into 2 is because the second one just kind of like needed to load its own assets that it couldn't do all at once if it were one mission altogether, because it genuinely feels like one mission. The characters were a lot more memorable to me this time around. I was able to pay more attention to what was actually happening on that front because I have played it before and I kind of already knew what was going on. So like this time around, I was like really trying to pay attention to the characters. But yeah, man, it's Call of Duty. What do you want me to say? It's just fun. World at War. Do I actually recommend playing it? Honestly, no. And I'm specifically talking about the campaign. No, not really. I don't think it's necessary. In all honesty, like, obviously, if you're a person who plays Call of Duty campaigns, it's because you just enjoy the campaign and you just want to experience the story and shit. And on that front, maybe I would say, you know what? Just play it on easy so that you can just experience the story. But that's it. I don't particularly, like, story-wise, I don't think it's particularly super great. I don't think the campaign is also particularly super great. I think it's just a matter of, you know, if you really want to experience the game, then just experience it. Otherwise, or experience it on easy. Otherwise, oh yeah, look at that, zombies, Nazi zombies. Otherwise, you know, just, I don't know, watch a playthrough, watch all the cutscenes. Well, there's so much that happens in the campaign. This is just one of those games where so much happens during the campaign that you really just have to watch an entire playthrough. Okay. I kind of forgot that in this game you unlock zombies after completing the campaign. At least that's how it was on the console version. I don't know if that's how it is on the PC version. In any case, I'm not even going to mention zombies. This is entirely about the campaign. The last thing I have to talk about is the ultra-wide mod for this game. I love it, and I really, really hate it. The reason I love it is because it fucking works and it looks fantastic. The reason I hate it is because, let's do it right now. It starts like that. And that is zoomed in when you compare it to like regular 16:9 footage. So you have to like crank up your FOV to make it look a little more proper. But when you do that, or well, it looks great right now. It looks absolutely fantastic. The issue is every time you start the game, every time you start up the game, you have to hit your whatever key you bind it to again in order to fix it. Whenever you start another mission, as in you started the game, you started the mission for the first time, you hit your little binding, and then you just play through the mission that way. And then you're on the next mission. Once you start the next mission, it'll be like, oh, we're back to zoomed in. You have to now press the key again, and that was super annoying. Whenever you die, every time you respawn, you have to, it starts you back right there, so you have to hit the stupid key again. And even on normal difficulty, you're gonna end up dying quite a bit because Jesus Christ, dude, it's so hard to see enemies. Oh Jesus, it's so hard to see enemies and grenades. They're gonna be the most annoying shit ever. And sometimes cutscenes will activate in the during the mission, and once again it'll zoom you in, and you have to actively remember to zoom back out to fix your FOV again, and that's super freaking annoying. But aside from that, even with the mod just not being perfect and doing that quite often, honestly, I mean, often enough, even if you don't die whatsoever, it happens quite often. Even with all that being said, I think it's still excellent, because even when it is zoomed in, it's still not that bad, honestly. Because the entire time I played the campaign, I was just like, there's so many instances where I died or I moved on to the next mission and I just completely forgot to hit the freaking key. Because it just looked fine. Even zoomed in, it looks fairly normal. But when you actually hit your key and you fix your FOV, it looks very, very good. So, you know, I would honestly, if you have an ultra wide monitor, maybe at that point I would say, like, yeah, go for it. You should experience this game in ultra wide. It is very cool. I think the only cutscenes that are borked are the like the little, they're not like mission dossiers. They're just like little cutscenes that play before the next mission starts. Just to like give you like a rundown of like what's going on at the time. I think those are the only cutscenes that are like stretched out to be ultra wide. I don't think anything is cut off from the top and bottom as far as I could tell. I think it's just stretched. But it also looks not stretched at all. Like even the text that's on that's on the cutscene, it doesn't look stretched. It looks really normal, which is odd to me. So that could either mean that it is cut off from the top and bottom, which I haven't actually checked myself. I haven't compared it to any actual 16:9 footage. So it either is cut off from the top and bottom, and that's why the text looked normal, or it literally is just stretched, and for whatever reason, it just looks absolutely phenomenal stretched, which is kind of unbelievable, but I'm almost inclined to believe it, because if it was cut off from the top and bottom, I feel like you would be able to notice it pretty easily. But I don't know. You'd have to check on your own time. I'll probably check on my own time too. In any case, even those loading screens stretched out to be 21:9, it still looks pretty good, pretty normal. Like it has real life footage of World War II, and it still looked normal. It still looked fantastic. So that's it for me, man. I had a lot of fun. I mean, there are certainly a lot of instances where it was very frustrating, but it was a lot of fun. Once again, do I recommend playing through World at War campaign? If you enjoy the Black Ops campaigns, you probably won't really enjoy this one. If you have an ultra-wide monitor and you want to, I mean, you might have, specifically if you have an ultra-wide monitor, I think you might find more enjoyment out of it. Just because it's super cool experiencing retro games in ultra-wide. But yeah, no, that's it for me. I had a really good time. I'm excited to start the next game. And real quick, let's get one of these zombies. I wish I had not ended the round. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, that didn't kill me. Kind of wish it did. Okay, here we go. Finish me off, zombie! Thank you. Game over. You survived 4 rounds. Oh, and it plays that song too? Hell yeah. Oh, I love Zombies music. All right. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing or becoming a member of the channel and follow me on Twitch for more of my shenanigans. Most importantly, hit up the Discord where you can keep up with all my projects, uploads, and live streams. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching.